Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, racing fans from around the world, welcome to Slamming Saturday with KMA Racing. This is KMA TV. I am Scott Kolovic, and joining me in the booth tonight is my very good friend and co-announcer, Ronald Klein. How are we doing, Ronald Klein?
Doing great, Scott. Good evening, race fans. Welcome to Talladega in the trucks.
All righty, right off the bat, tell us all about Talladega, the weather we're going to be facing out, and a little bit about these Craftsman Truck Series.
Yeah, so we're going to be here at Talladega tonight, one of the fastest racetracks we see on the circuit. We're going to be doing 100 laps tonight. You can expect the drivers to start looking for fuel after about 28 to 30 laps, depending on where they are. You're looking at Talladega, which is a 2.5 mile speedway. So, yeah, 100 laps. Be a great race.
Going to be a very good race, but these drivers out here tonight, they have got to stay in the long haul mentality. If they drop off that long haul mentality, it's going to be caution after caution after caution. Now, Ron, you know as well as I do, we've seen the super speedway races go in either direction. They're either really, really good or they're really, really bad. What do you think?
I have to agree with you, Scott. Hopefully the drivers tonight will have that long haul mentality like you're speaking of. Like you said, we've seen it before. We've seen some exciting races. These guys just need to settle in, let the laps wind down, get through the pit stops cleanly, and during the last 10 laps, fight it out for the win.
Alrighty, taking a look at our qualifying grid tonight. Out there on that pole position, we've got Wally Tierheimer with a 53.387 side by side with his teammate Nathan Sylvia with a 53.388. Good job, 1 and 2. Rob Haynes in third in the number 68. Richard Brose, big shout out there to Richard Brose and Richie B's Pizza in position 4. Gary Whitmer Jr. position 5. GW Graphics, back with those great videos you saw in the oh my God, I am tongue-tied. Beginning belonged to Gary Whitmer. Chris Boyles with Maximum Velocity in position 6th. Black Talon Racing, the 66, the Reaper himself, Edward Bray, side by side with Jay Anderson in 8th position. Joel Guy, the Marine Guy, in the number 91, position 9. Lee Staples, position 10. Moving on to position 11, Sean Dower. Good to see Chris Hogue out there in position 12. Lynn McNeese, I call him Snoopy. Garrett Potts, big shout out there too. Courtney Potts in position 14. Everett, Fast Lane Racing, position 15, side by side with Tony Wright. Mark Jackson out here in position 17. Donald Stewart, P18. Freeman Kelly. Kerry Allen Stewart making up positions 19 and 20. You and I, 21st and 22nd, but we're not out there. Joseph Rice, Kevin Scott Nelson, 23rd and 24th. And John Woodruff in position 25. All right, that is your qualifying order. Big Wally up there on that front line. We don't see Wally too often up there on the start, but we see him up in the finish a lot. What do you think?
Yeah, more recently I've seen Wally qualifying closer and closer to the front. It's one of those things where you turn the perfect lap and you find yourself out there on that front row. Pretty interesting, though, if you look at the qualifying times of the number 57 and the 14, they were identical. It was 53.387 for both of them. So, not sure how that works, but maybe whoever turned it first or maybe whoever turned it last, not quite sure, but so your front row had the identical lap times.
Now, something we're going to be doing tonight, very special, folks. We're going to be educating you. We're going to be teasing you. We're going to be giving you a lot of information. Now, right off the bat, I have got a trivia question for you. What was the original name of Talladega Super Speedway And when did that construction begin? All right, so when did they start working on Talladega? And before it was known as Talladega, what was it called? We're going to give you a few laps to think about that. Look it up, Google it, Yahoo it. But I want to know what the original name for Talladega was. All right, Ronald Klein, take us on our first start of the night.
All right, Scott, we've got, as we said, Wally Tierheimer in front, Nathan Sylvia on the outside, pace cars in. We're going to be going green.
Green, green, green.
And they're off. Green flag is out. Pack is underway, coming up through the gears, trying to get those trucks up to speed, those restrictor plates. And we've already got someone spinning at the rear of the field. I'm not sure if that's going to bring a caution out or not. We're staying green, so I assume no caution.
All right, well, I am backing up looking at that. You keep talking about what you're seeing up there in the front. All right, we are looking at the number 224. All right,
And
there is your
has
caution.
Just come out. That'll give us a little bit more time to decipher exactly what happened there, Scott. Can you talk us through that replay?
All righty, we're looking at a little bit of contact there with Donald Stewart. Looks like the number 7. The number 7 is Joseph Rice, and he just completely drove down into Kevin Scott Nelson. I mean, there is no other way to. He just made a left turn. You know what? I bet you that had to be a wheel failure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to put you in the cockpit of the number 7. But I'm telling you, Ronald, that is very, very uncharacteristic of the number 7. We're in cockpit, and he just drove left. Got to be a mechanical failure.
I gotta agree with you, Scott. We had this happen before, and we said this. You know, we said the same thing that we're saying now, and later on we found out that that was the issue. So I gotta believe that something happened. Lost connection, broke the steering column.
Well, he's still out there on that track. I tell you what. You know what? We're going to have to ask Joseph. We do have him on comms. We're going to see if we can raise him on the radio, because that was just weird. How about it, Joseph Rice? Have you got a copy, sir? Joseph Rice, have you got a copy, sir? Alrighty, unfortunately, we are having problems. Maybe the radio got screwed up in transition as well. All right, let's get talking to the guy that he got into. How about it, Kevin? Have you got a copy, sir?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, we were trying to raise your dear friend there beside you. A little bit of an unfortunate first caution, first lap. We couldn't get a hold of Joseph on the radio, but he pretty much drove down onto you on that start. What happened there, buddy?
To me, I just all of a sudden I felt my rear end turn, so I didn't even think anybody was. I thought it might have been net code, but I didn't see anybody at all.
Was there any word on the track? Are the communication lines with Joseph operating?
No, nobody really said anything. I was kind of apologizing in case I did do it, but
Oh no, sir, no. I'm thinking the number 7 must have had some kind of a steering issue, because I mean he just drove left into you.
It wasn't an immediate left. It was a very gradual, like, you know, just like he slowly started drifting left. So we're thinking some kind of mechanical failure or some kind of connection failure. Now he is back out there, so maybe we can get a race update later from you on exactly what happened. But just to let you know, it didn't look like he intentionally came down on you. It was very gradual. He just kind of slowly started coming down, and then he made contact with you.
yeah, like I said, I didn't see it anywhere around me, so I was like surprised when I started turning.
All right. Nonetheless, Kevin, glad to see you're okay, but you did have to take a backup vehicle. Is that correct?
I did. I hit
right.
that wall kind of hard.
All righty. Good luck to you. Good luck to the University of Michigan.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night. Hope to talk to you soon.
All righty. Hey, I'm taking a look at that KMA TV
Yep,
chat.
so am
I know, right? Becky Whitmer. All righty. Becky Whitmer. She wins that run. I'm going to get me a bell. Ding, 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 ding. And Becky Whitmer construction began on what was known then as the Alabama International Motor Speedway, May 23rd, 1968. So, wow, Becky. Wow, I thought I was going to stump somebody there. All righty, good stuff right there.
Well, since we've got a little bit of time, I'm gonna throw the next one out there because I've said this before, and there are quite a few viewers. We are in a certain country now. I said it before. When you come down to Talladega, this is considered blank country. So anybody who has been watching the broadcast in the past should know exactly what I'm talking about. If you do, put that up there in the KMA TV chat.
All right, well, I have to exclude myself from this one here because I was there the other night. All righty, now looking at this race, we've just had like no lead changes. What the caution came out, lap one. Still not sure what happened with Joseph Rice, but he did bring out the first caution. I'm thinking mechanical failure. Looking at our running order, as drivers will be taking one more lap by, we've got Wally, Nathan, Rob, Richard, and Gary Whitmer Jr. Now, once these drivers do cross this line one more time, well, they definitely have one more lap to go, so I got plenty of time for an interview with GW. How about it, GW?
What's going on, Scott? How you doing?
Doing very good. Hey, I wanted to give you a very cool piece of information. You got to be pretty proud of your mom right now, and I'll tell you why. We put out a trivia question about the original name of Talladega, and she got it. I was very impressed.
Good job.
It was known as Alabama, and she right there. Oh, she's got the second one. She's got the second one.
Second one too.
Awesome.
That is awesome. Great job.
All righty. Talk to me a little bit about this purple and black vehicle you're driving.
The purple and black flames, painted by Over the Top Paints and Designs, with Pat in mind. People Against Distracted Driving, and Nikki Kalini.
All righty. Now, we had an unfortunate early caution there. I still claim it was mechanical failure. But talk to me about how the attitude is out there on the track, and do it quick. We're getting ready to go green.
Yeah, it's a little bit sketchy right now. We're trying to figure this out and see what we're going to do.
All righty. Well, I tell you what. Good job with Mom. I tell you, I don't know if you've taught her or she taught you, but we've got a racing family on our hands. Good luck, Gary Whitmer.
All right. Thank you, Scott.
All right. Well, Ronald. Becky 2. Scott and Ronald 0. Becky's on a roll early on.
She is. She certainly is.
All right, we're going to put you in-car camera here on this restart, folks, with Gary Whitmer. All right, I've got one for you, Becky. The first NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race was held on when? When was the first NASCAR Cup race? When? We'll give you a few laps to think about that one there, fans. Talk us through these restarts. What's on these drivers' minds as they do approach from 80 miles per hour up to about 197?
As the pace car ducks off, the front two guys really, you know, they don't really need to drive as hard as they can, but they don't want to leave any openings. So as we go green right now, you see Wally Tierheimer taking off. Nathan Sylvia didn't get quite the restart that he wanted, but he does have Richard Rose right behind him. And the other night we saw Richard Rose really pushing very, very well. So that outside lane will probably be moving with the assistance of Richard Rose and company behind him. But these guys, especially in the front, they just want to stay out front because it is one of the safest places to be. The rest of the guys in the middle of the pack, they want to stay close, but they don't want to be too close. And then you're going to have some drivers with the mentality that they just want to be, you know, they want to break away. They don't want to be in that main pack. And gotta be very careful, because if you don't get enough cars or trucks to stay with you, if you want to drop that far back, once you lose that lead pack, it's impossible to catch them.
We are in car with Edward Bray. Now I'm taking a look at that Crown Chevy Silverado being driven by the number 28 up in the right side of the view of Edward Bray here. And I'm looking at the comparison of his tires down on that white line as well as the number 87. And I tell you, I'm going to be a smart ass right here, because I tell you what, you hear them trucking songs about riding that white line. They're not riding that white line. They seem to be zigging. They seem to be zagging. So is it really that hard at speeds of 197 miles per hour, 194, to hold it steady?
It's a product of the car in front of you, Scott, for the most part. If the car in front of you is very, very smooth, it's easy for you to try to stay square to him. That's what these drivers are trying to do. They're trying to stay squared up to the car in front of them. That way, if they need to push, or if they want to be in that draft, they're perfectly in line. So if the first guy, the second guy, the third guy, it doesn't really matter, is wiggling around just a little bit, if he's moving down, he's moving up, and he's not holding the perfectly straight line, which is somewhat difficult to do, especially when you're in the draft, it creates an accordion effect all the way back. You'll see all the cars doing it because they're all chasing that same line. They're all trying to stay in line with the car in front of them. And sometimes you will see certain drivers like, well, you know, these guys are just wiggling around. I'm just going to drive in a straight line. But for the most part, that's why you see what you're seeing right now.
Want to give a big shout out there to Donald Sadusky taking a stab at our trivia question, but unfortunately a swing and a miss by Donald Sadusky, thinking it was 1949. All right, we're going to give you a refresher here, Donald. Becky has already gotten that first trivia question of the original name, Alabama. Speedway was built in 1968. The next question was when the first NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Donald Sadusky guessed 1949. About 19 years early, brother. Alrighty, one more time for a refresher for our new viewers out there. When was the first NASCAR Cup Series race held? And we are 3 wide with Sean Dower coming up on that third lane, going around Richard Brose, eyeing Richard Brose very carefully, and the number 57 and the number 14 and the number 68 on that inside lane, booking it.
And the number 14 gets spun to the inside by the number 57. Unfortunate contact, obviously a drafting incident. It was obviously not intentional. I'm positive of that, but
all right, we're backing it up.
Looks like the number 57 was not square on the number 14.
Well, and the 21 went into the wall as well. 21, Tony Stewart, into the wall.
I'm staying with the leaders. There's a big shuffle here. There's cars that have started to lose the draft.
All right, well, I tell you what, that's going to break up that field. Now, one thing I did notice already on the rear end of the number 28, Crown, being driven by Chris Voiles, well, he's got a little ass end damage right there on that Crown.
Not only does he, the person in front of him, who happens to be Richard Brose, does as well. Almost identical damage, actually, Scott.
All righty, getting back with our trivia question. Our fans have had time enough to Google it up. And the answer to that one there, I think we may score a point here for me and Ronald. But the question was, the first NASCAR Sprint Series race was held on September 14th of 1969. The track was started May 23rd, 68. The first Cup race was held on September 14th, 1969, folks. It was a good year. I was born, and the first Cup race happened. That was a very good year.
That was when NASCAR was really starting to get the ball rolling, because NASCAR took a long time. I've watched a lot of things on NASCAR and how it evolved, and it took a lot of effort from a lot of people, and took some really strong people to get NASCAR going, and it is what it is today because of them.
right, well, I tell you what, I've got one more, and I'm going to let you have a turn at this. One more. It's a simple one. All right, folks. The track name was changed to Talladega Superspeedway in what year? We already have established it was named Alabama in 68. But when did they change it to Talladega Superspeedway? We'll give you about 5 laps to look at that as we're looking at Rob Haynes being our new race leader. 4 lead changes, 1 caution, totaling 4 laps. Lap 12 of 100. And when did they change it to Talladega Superspeedway?
Drivers, again, Scott, you had mentioned it earlier. The drivers really do seem to be having a hard time staying in a straight line. I see a lot of movement side to side from these trucks tonight, and not typical. And it's not like we have a different crowd of drivers or a different batch of drivers. These are drivers that have been out here, that race these super speedways often. They're familiar with these trucks, so I'm seeing a lot of movement early on. Kind of shocked by it, Scott.
Gary Whitmer sitting in position 5, doing an awesome job out here, taking his time. But you're right. We've got the number 62 in view of Sean Dower. They're 3 wide with the number 68 of Rob Haynes. Rob Haynes getting stuck up on that outside lane. Rob Haynes losing several positions, dropping back to position 8, back into the rear end of the damaged Crown. Let's talk damage, Ronald. Now, we are looking at the rear end of Chris Voiles. I talk about backing into a telephone pole. I think he backed into like several telephone poles, but it doesn't seem to be affecting his performance. How is that?
Well, fortunately for him, he's able to tuck up to that truck in front of him.
All right, well, he's got damage too.
And again, he's able to tuck up to the truck in front of him. Now, you'll notice that outside line, while it is moving forward at this moment, that could be a product of the number 5 getting warm and needing to cool off his truck. That outside line does not seem to be as strong as the inside line, and I think part of that is due to those 2 damaged trucks. If we had a situation where the number 28 and the number 87 of Richard Brose, had to pit, and they pitted together versus 2 other trucks, I don't think that the 87 and the 28 would be able to keep pace with them if they were if it was a 2-on-2 versus a 2-on-2. But because they have a clean truck in front and now a clean truck behind them, and take that back because we're about to go 3 wide, it looks like. Nope. Maybe. Can't make up their mind.
Well, Gary Whitmer's up in 2nd place, though. That's awesome.
It is awesome, and
well, we are 3 wide.
He's being very patient, but if that lead car out there wasn't there, I think that the 2 trucks behind them, being Richard Brose and Chris Voiles, would have more of a difficult time, which we may find out right now, because Richard Brose just pushed. Sorry, I can't see the car.
We've got Sean Dower up there. Oh, big 3 wide.
Got Sean Dower up front. So now we'll see if the damage to the back of those trucks is really affecting them or not.
All righty, and look at that K-Made TV chat. Ding, ding, ding. I'm going to Office Max. I'm buying me a bell. We're going to start ding, ding, ding. We've got a winner out there on that KMA TV chat, and it is Becky Whitmer, and she's 3 for 3. The track name was changed to Talladega in 1989. I think Becky's got my cheat sheet. I'll tell you what, Ron. All right, Ron. We're going to see if you can fool Becky, because she is going 3 for 3 tonight. And Sean Dower is leading lap 17 of 100. Big shout out there to Sean Dower. I know he's got
going 3 wide here coming out of turn 4, Scott.
Awesome stuff. Oh, yes, that is 3 wide. We've got 18 on that outside. Richard Brose in the middle. Len McNeese down on that inside, driving the Little Smoky. Edward Bray up into that middle lane.
Bold move.
bold move. Well, you know, hey, big shout out there to Gearhead Paint Shop. But I'd say what, Edward Bray, he is not scared of 3 wide. He's not scared of 4 wide. He's a smart man running forward. Black Talon Racing.
Edward Bray was very smart in that move for obvious reasons, but once again, Richard Brose has been able to push even with the damaged truck. He's got the 28 behind him. He has proven that he can still push, and he's proven that he's a good pusher over the last few races that I've seen. I'd expect to see that 66 right up there and beside the leader here shortly if Wally Tierheimer doesn't jump out of line, and he has missed his chance. So Wally Tierheimer had a chance to jump up and take that outside lane. Oh, and we got a wreck. Oh my goodness, that
all right.
That was a big one.
All right, we're looking at the replay, and we've got Wally on that inside lane, and Wally, ooh, oh my goodness, I think somebody died. All right, Wally Tierheimer barely getting into the nick of the old schools, and right there it is, folks. Barely touched him, and that took out Edward Bray. Wally Tierheimer, the Rob Haynes, I think, may have missed it. Whoa. All right.
I've got it in super slow-mo as the 62 gets sideways. The 57 starts to slide up, gets into the 66. The 62 comes down across, bounces off of the roof of the 28, still in the air. Everyone else clears him. The 57 and 66 go into the wall. I'm still watching to see if anyone else gets collected up into this. And it looks like Rob Haynes narrowly misses the 57 as he was spinning. So it looks like just 3 cars caught up into that incident, Scott.
All right, well, I tell you what, that's a good thing right there. But the bumper hook, he barely touched him, Ronald. What is up with that?
It's a known issue. We know about it. We've talked about it. I'm hearing Race Control asking the questions right now. Give me one moment. I'm listening in. You continue on.
I tell you what, it was just barely a touch, but that will put Gary Whitmer out there on that front line. Pretty sure Gary's going to cruise on there into pit road. Now, Gary's got to slow way down to let that pace car catch up. That is why the drivers are just about at a stop. All right, come on, pace car, get it together so these boys can get back here to rolling. All right, that'll bring out our second caution, and it appears that traffic is frozen on the field, and here comes the pace car taking his sweet time. Ain't got nothing better to do but drive around. All right, drivers heading their way into pit row. Gary Whitmer, Richard Brose, Len McNeese, Chris Voiles, Chris Hogue, Jay Anderson, Joel Guy, Rob Haynes. Two drivers staying out.
Yeah, some interesting strategies here. I would assume that that's to try to get their laps back because, some of these guys did lose the draft. So I would assume that I saw Joseph Rice as one of them. He was one that stayed out, but he is not a lap down. So that doesn't hold true to what I was thinking. So
well, I'm going to go on and try to hit Joseph Rice up on that chat one more time. How about a Joseph Rice? Have you got a copy, sir?
10-4, you got me, Scott?
I got you this time, brother. How are you?
Good, how about you?
I'm doing good. All right, tell us about what you're doing right now.
Right now I'm just waiting, going to take a late pit stop, planning some strategy.
All righty. Now, I tried to raise you earlier underneath that first incident there underneath the start of our race, and I'm not calling you out, brother, but what we saw, it looked like your wheel just like went haywire as you drove down into the 224. What happened there, brother? Mechanical failure, I can assume. All righty, having some difficulty there with Joseph. All right, nonetheless, good luck to you tonight, Joseph Rice. All right, Joseph Rice out there on that number 1 spot. Gary Whitmer in second. Richard Brose sitting back in third. Joseph Rice as he is taking his cautionary pit stop. All right, Richard Brose. We haven't talked to Richard Brose for quite some time. We need to check in with the pizza guy. How about it, Richie?
Can you hear me, Scott?
I can. How are you?
I'm okay. I guess I just got caught up in that little scuffle just before the race, and my back end was a little beat up, so I wasn't 100%, so I really was glad Chris was behind me so I can push some people to the front, but when I was left out there by myself, I was dragging a little bit, so kind of happy that the yellow came out, so I was able to use my quick fix and get back to 100%.
All right, well, first off, I do want to congratulate you on your new microphone. You're sounding awesome. Radio communication equipment is not only important, it's pretty cool. Talk to me a little bit about the Richie B number 87 and the paint job behind that.
Oh, yeah. Pizza joint in Dothan, Alabama, created that store in Los Angeles and kept building them out. One in La Grande, Oregon, one in New Mexico, and I'm situated here in Dothan, Alabama, real happy, got a good clientele, really blessed out here, and I wish some of the guys that live close would stop by and try some of this stuff. It'd be awesome.
I tell you what, if I ever get down to Alabama, I'm going to be right there. And I can tell you're from a very fine German hit. No, I'm just giving you some stuff right there. You know, solid Italian heritage, solid Italian pizza, the way Mama Leone would have made it, correct?
Yes. It's like it's my grandmother's recipe, and I just followed her and just keeping it. If it's not broke, don't fix it, Scott, you know?
All right, now real quick about the race. Are you very comfortable right now with 78 to go in second position?
Yes, sir.
All right, Richard Brose, going to get her done. You got anything for Richie, Ronald?
Just you've been doing a fantastic job last couple races that I've been broadcasting in. I've been seeing you, especially on the super speedways, because that's primarily when I broadcast. Been doing a fantastic job of pushing people. I see you in that outside lane a lot, and you always seem to be the guy pushing the guy to the front. But nobody seems to push you to the front. So how can you turn that around and be the guy that gets pushed to the front?
Yeah, it's just, I guess it's timing and working with your people, you know, working with a group of guys. And I got some new equipment too, so I'm still trying to get used to it, steering wheel and some pedals, but seems to be working out okay. And like you said, yeah, I have no problem pushing people to the front, and hopefully maybe I can get a pass and jump up there.
Well,
Copy that.
Well, now I got a follow-up question here. Since we got one more lap to go, what new equipment have you got? Tell our fans about what you're running right now.
I'm embarrassed. I don't know what they call it. I told somebody, well, it's not one of the wheels that you can actually see. I came from somebody, and it was pretty expensive, so to speak. But I got a Momo wheel on here with all kinds of LED lights and stuff, but I don't know what the steering wheel is, so forgive me. I'll find out and I'll let you know, but I'm not sure what it is. Forgive me.
All right, well, I tell you what, you're sounding great. You're looking great. I'm sure your food is great. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're ever down there in Dothan, Alabama, check out Richie B's Pizza. Good luck, Richie.
Thanks, Steve, Scott, and thank you, Ronald.
No problem.
Richie B running with Maximum Velocity. All right. Have you got something out there to stump Becky with, Ronald?
Well, I'm gonna kind of mix this up a little bit. If Becky or any of the other viewers out there can correctly choose or tell us who our winner is, I will send them an RTK Motorsports hat.
Nice. All right, now, what are the
Stipulation
stipulations?
is that they must make their choice before lap 50.
All righty, we're going to remind you fans about that about every 10 laps. So we're looking at 24, 34, 44. So they got to have this information in by lap 50.
Yes.
All righty, get a brand new RTK Motorsports hat. I guess as opposed to a partially used one, right? I know, right?
Yeah.
All righty, great stuff right there from RTK. Now, while you're trying to get your way to that hat, I've got another question for you. When was the first NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series held? Now, we're talking about the trucks. We're running the trucks tonight. The Chevy Silverados, the Toyota Tundras. Ladies and gentlemen, race fans, if you're a race fan, you got to know it. And I know Becky's got her little Samsung Galaxy out, checking it out. The first NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race was held on when? We'll give you a few laps to think about that. Gary Whitmer, Richard Brose, Lynn McNeese, Kevin Scott Nelson, Nathan Sylvia. Our top 5 on lap 24 of 100 in our 100 lap race of Slammin' Saturday. Drivers are coming up into turn 3, getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday night. I know these drivers are down there enjoying their race tonight.
Watching Edward Bray restarting in the rear of the field. We'll see how long it takes for him to get back up to the front as we go back green. Gary Whitmer Jr. taking that green flag on the inside lane. Quite a bit of gap there between the 87 and the 224. That's going to hurt that outside lane pretty badly, Scott. I expect to see the 84 of Len McNeese jump up and try to get in front of that number 87. Doesn't do it in time. Going to be risky. If he does do it, the door is closed. He's unable to. That will ensure that Gary Whitmer Jr. stays out front on that inside lane.
Now, we're talking about the lanes. Something I'm finding really interesting here as we look at this from our camera angle of TV2, I'm seeing a whole lot of room up there on that outside lane. Nobody's biting.
Nope. Not yet. Nobody should be biting yet, Scott.
Well, Don,
it's too early. Guys should just be really should just be kind of logging laps, and we move the cameras in broadcasting all throughout the field, and we talk about a good majority of the drivers. Doesn't matter if you're in first, doesn't matter if you're in the middle, doesn't matter if you're laps down. We usually talk about people throughout the race, no matter where they're located in the race. So for a lot of these guys, just getting used to the car and logging laps would be the best thing that they could do. And that's KMA's philosophy. Edward Bray is the race control with the assistance of Joel Guy, and they're preaching that to the guys every night. Doesn't matter where we go, but especially here, about trying to be patient. Don't make silly moves and silly mistakes. And as I'm talking here, Richard Brose does kind of have a run to the outside. Kevin Scott Nelson is giving him a push. He might actually finally get that push to the outside that he needs to get in front of the number 5 and get down.
all right, we've got a couple of takers out there on the KMA TV chat. Donald Sadusky talking about 1995 Phoenix, and Becky guessing at 1996. All right, let me reread this question. These are Talladega fun facts. The first NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race was held on when? And looking at that chat, Donald Sadusky, 1995 Phoenix, no, sir. And Becky Whitmer, 1996, no, ma'am.
I think they misunderstood the question, Scott. I don't think that they understood you were specifying Talladega. So specifically, when was the first race held Craftsman Truck Series race held at Talladega. That's the trivia tonight. This is all about Talladega.
Yes, sir. That is a possibility. But you know, I don't know because I'm looking at the date that Donald guessed there at Phoenix, and without giving away the date that I have as the answer, man, that's like a long many year away. So did they have possibly truck races at Phoenix before Talladega?
Could be.
Because I'm telling you, I know the answer here, and that's a big gap. But all right, this is about Talladega. The first NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race was held on when? Talladega Fun Facts. All right. Jay Anderson making his way up there to position 1. Wally Tierheimer, 220. I'm glad the 224 is back up there. You know, he got taken out there under the first. We hadn't even started racing yet. But the 224 right now on his backup vehicle. Ronald, explain about that backup vehicle. Kevin Scott Nelson is on his last life.
Yeah, when you have to use your backup vehicle, it kind of puts you in a box, and not that you really want to be aggressive early on, but you're really trying to survive. You're trying to stay in the lead pack, and you're trying to survive. And you don't want to use your backup car at all, to be completely honest. You want to have a good, clean race and not have to use a backup car at all. But now you're in a situation where you're in a backup car and you're right in the thick of it. So Kevin Scott Nelson doing a great job of pushing on that number 18 right now, but he's got to be a little bit concerned and a little bit cautious, because if he gets into any sort of trouble here, that's going to ruin his night.
Drivers holding patience here, staying double file. A little bit of tally info for you guys. We have had 78 NASCAR Cup Series races. Pole winners, 33. Bill Elliott actually leads all drivers with 8 poles at Talladega. Well, I didn't know that. Bill Elliott. Wow. That is a name.
That was back in the heyday when there were no restrictor plate races, and Bill Elliott and Ford had hooked up, and they had found some serious speed.
And Hendrick Motorsports has won 10 races, more than any other racing well, other than KMA Racing. if we could only compare. Awesome, though. Hendrick Motorsports, they are a powerhouse out here at Talladega. Alrighty, but we are still waiting for that answer. When was the first Craftsman Truck Series race held? I think we may have stumped him, Ronald.
Possibly.
All right.
But again, at Talladega, not
at
the
Talladega.
very first race. When was the very first Craftsman truck race held at Talladega?
All right, well, I tell you what, I'm going to go on and give it up because I got another one. October 7th of 2006, the first NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race was held. October 7th of 2006. That is my fun fact from, well, I'm not going to tell you where I'm getting this stuff. Man, that would be silly on my part. All right, but here's the next one. Who won the first NASCAR Sprint Cup race? And I'm assuming this is at Talladega. We're at Talladega Fun Facts. So who won the first NASCAR Sprint Cup race? And I tell you what, I'll give you a clue. His official name, he's got a little bit of a nickname, a little shortened version. And you'll know it. You'll slap your forehead and say, duh. But who won the first NASCAR Sprint Cup race at Talladega? Right now, Wally Tierheimer, Jay Anderson battling it out for that first position. Big shout out there to Mom Tierheimer and Joshua. Wally told me that Mom Tierheimer and Joshua would be out here watching tonight's race. And so far, it's been one to watch. We've had 2 cautions. We're on lap 34 of 166 to go. 16 lead changes.
You already have your answer.
Do I really?
Somebody already answered.
Oh, Carrie Stewart, dude. Yes, sir. Oh, man, I got to get a better website. He's right.
I think they found your website.
They may have found my... All right. Well, now you're going to take over. I know you got a secondary website. But Richard Brickhouse won the first NASCAR Sprint Cup race. All right. All right, well, let's see if we can find some Dale Earnhardt trivia. How about that?
I've got a good one. So, let's see. That one's gonna be too easy, actually.
Well, everybody knows all about Dale. Wally Tierheimer being pushed on by the number 18 of Jay Anderson. Donald Stewart holding his own on that outside lane. Richard Brose has dropped back to position 7. While you're thinking about your question, all right, we'd had to talk to this driver, and I told this driver he was going to get a little bit of special camera time tonight. Tony Wright. We're not going to really focus on this out of respect for younger viewers, but I promised Tony he'd get some camera time. We're going to take a minute to look at the rear end of Tony Wright. Tony Wright showing his support for Lisa Sparks. I'm not sure who Lisa Sparks is. Honestly, I really do not know this woman. But she is a very attractive, well-endowed, obviously a model, I do believe. But, you know, I tell you what. He's got focus on the rear end of that number 21. And I'm not really so sure that that's an easy situation to focus on right there, Ronald Klein.
No, not really.
All right, but we're not going to, drag this out. But we're going to move on up and look at some loose cannon of number 87. But a big shout out there to Tony Wright. I promised him a little bit of airtime. He got it. Now, there's that 28 ass in that Crown. Now, he obviously is on his backup vehicle as well. And we know that Kevin Scott Nelson is on his backup vehicle. Again, how important is that backup vehicle?
You got to cherish it. You can't waste it. And that's one of the heartbreaks and one of the hard things about running at this racetrack is a lot of times it's not in your control whether or not your car gets damaged or not.
Got you on the inside cameras of that right front suspension. Imagine yourself those old time motorcycles that had that sidecar. Now that is the angle that we have got these cameras on. You're the monkey in the middle. You are between the Boston Red Sox. You're looking up there at Nathan Sylvia. I want to go fast, staring at the University of Michigan. But we're riding sidecar with the number 87. He's keeping a very good distance off of that 224 of Michigan, but not quite so from the 28 and the number 21 of Tony Wright up in that outside lane, but he's still keeping pace. So tell us all about the draft is what I'm getting at.
The draft is everything. If you're at Daytona or Talladega, the draft is everything. You have about 5 car links in a pack if you're the last one, and you get about 4 to 5 car links behind. You can pretty much kiss the draft goodbye. You have to stay tucked up to the car in front of you. If you're towards the back of the pack, you have to drive aggressively. You have to have your foot on the brake. You have to be ready to slow it up if you need to slow it up, but you can't slow it up too much. If you slow it up too much, that pack will start to drift away from you, and before you can get your momentum built back up because of these restrictor plates, you will lose the draft. So the guys that are in the very back of the pack, they're literally clinging on for dear life. The guys in the middle of the pack, they're in the best position in terms of the draft, because the cars in the front are the ones doing all of the work. The ones in the middle are just kind of riding along, foot maybe 3/4 or less throttle, saving a little bit of fuel. They're not as tense because they're not worried about being perfectly square on the guy in front of them. They're not white knuckling it. They're not out for a Sunday drive either, but they're just a little more relaxed. You know, they're not fully tensed up, worried about spinning the guy in front of them. So that's the draft in a nutshell, in my opinion.
Taking a look at the number 62 of Sean Dower. Sean Dower pushing on the number 68. Now, Sean Dower is 1 lap down, but he's up there racing it up there with the leaders, pushing on to the rear end of our race leader, Rob Haynes. Wally Tierheimer down in that inside lane. Jay Anderson, number 18. Kevin Scott Nelson side by side with the number 28. Nathan Sylvia, Richard Brose. Max Velocity seems to be making an appearance tonight. We've got Wally, Chris, Richard, Nathan. We've got Travis Browder out there in channel, but I don't see Travis on the track. Would Travis be up for a little bit of announcing tonight, maybe?
Good possibility. I might be listening out there on that KMA TV chat.
He may be. All right, well, get us back to this trivia question. You had a trivia question for us.
I do have a trivia question. How many Sprint Cup wins has the name Earnhardt had at Talladega Superspeedway? And that's partially because you said something about Earnhardt. So how many Sprint Cup wins? Sprint Cup. Now, okay, let me rephrase that. Cup wins. The top series, whether it be Winston, Sprint, or Monster Energy. How many Cup wins has the name Earnhardt had at Talladega Superspeedway?
I would have to guess 12. And that's honestly a blind guess. All right, Ray. And I am wrong. No ding ding for me.
No ding ding.
All right, Becky, get that stuff looked up.
Yeah, you guys out there on the KMA TV chat, let us know what the answer is. And with 6 laps to go, well, we're probably coming to 5 laps to go. You guys out there watching, I'm going to throw out a RTK Motorsports ball cap to the person who can correctly guess tonight's winner. And got to get that in before lap 50.
This is lap 44. You got 6 laps. Think about it, folks. And we're coming up 3 wide with lap traffic, riding on the rear end of Kevin Scott Nelson. Oh, and we've got a blinker out there on that field. Jay Anderson doing a little bit of blinking as we go 3 wide with the number 40 of Garrett Potts. Big shout out there to Courtney. Are you out there, Courtney, in that KMA TV land? All right, I'm going to see if we can get Travis up here on the horn. How about it, Travis? Are you here?
Hey, Scott, how are you?
I'm good, Travis. How are you?
Just watching the race. What are you up to?
All righty. Are you in the mood for a little bit of announcing here for a few minutes?
Absolutely, Scott. I got the volume low and watching live, man.
All righty. Have you been listening to those trivia questions?
All righty.
Did you hear the last question?
No, I did not. But what's the trivia?
Tell him, Ronald.
Okie dokie.
Hey, Ronald.
Hey, Travis, welcome to the booth again.
Hey.
How many Cup wins? That could be, not could be, but that's Winston Cup, Sprint Cup, Monster Energy. How many Cup wins has the name Earnhardt had at Talladega Superspeedway?
He has 10 wins in the Cup Series at Talladega. His last win was back in 2000 when he got to the front the last 3 laps.
No way.
Wow,
Yes.
you are absolutely correct. On
Ding,
that
ding, ding,
part
ding,
of it,
ding.
sir,
Yeah.
But no. I said the name Earnhardt. I did not say Dale Earnhardt. I said the name Earnhardt.
Oh, got you on a stipulation.
Got you on a stipulation.
That means dad, too.
Yeah.
That means father and son. So
Earnhardt
between.
Jr. and Senior.
Yep. So now that you've answered, please don't give it away because we're waiting for those out there in KMTV land to see if we can get the correct answer from them.
All right, Travis, you're no stranger out here to Talladega. And I tell you what, we're coming up on lap 47. We're asking our race fans out there on the KMA TV chat channel to choose their winner by lap 50. And if they are correct, they're going to get an RTK ball cap. So we're going to include you up in that, Travis. You got 2 laps now, 2 laps, ladies and gentlemen, to tell me who you're going to think is going to win tonight. While you're thinking about that, I'm going to throw up our running order. But Travis, are you willing to take a gamble for an RTK Motorsports hat?
That'd be pretty cool. I'll make an attempt on this to pick one driver. All right, I'm gonna probably pull for. It's tough, but I'm gonna pull for Wally Tierheimer tonight.
All right, Ronald, you better be writing this stuff down. Becky Whitmer's opting for the number 15.
15 was the number of races that the Earnhardt family name has won at Talladega Super Speedway.
I thought she was rooting for the number. I'm looking for a number 15. I'm like, no, there is
Nope.
no. But she's
Nope,
right.
Becky Whitmer chimed in earlier for GW to win, so I know who she's pulling for.
All right, Kerry Stewart opting for 16. I'm going to assume that's his answer. But so it was 15.
It was 15 between the two of them.
So Becky's
They
like
had-
4 for 4 tonight.
Yeah, he's on it.
She's tearing us apart. All right, this is lap 49. All right, ladies and gentlemen, get those names typed up right now for a chance to win an RTK. And Travis, you said you're voting for whom?
Wally Tierheimer, number 57.
All right, I am voting for Rob Haynes. Rob Haynes, Talladega 2016 winner. I am voting for Rob Haynes. Ronald, write that down. Becky, tell us who you think is going to win tonight's race. Race fans, type it up for a chance to win an RTK ball cap.
And just to throw mine in there, I'm going to go with Donald Stewart tonight.
And Donald Stewart and the Boston Red Sox, very fitting, actually, if that would win. But right now, Tony Wright, Rob Haynes. Tony Wright is actually pushing on the lap traffic of the number 62.
Here we go. We got
Green flag pit stops.
Who's going in? Who's going in?
I just heard Gary Whitmer Jr.
Oh,
Edward Bray.
Gary Whitmer spins
no,
going
no,
in the pits, and they're wrecking in the pits. Gary Whitmer.
Oh, we're going to back that up. Okay, we got that up here, and we're going to see what happened. I don't think Gary was at fault, but we were looking at those green flag pit stops, but there's no caution, guys. But Gary Whitmer coming down, getting tagged into the rear end. Might have been Len McNeese, but that'll send Gary. That was Len McNeese, tagged him. Chaos going into pit row. Travis, talk to us about the dangers of pit row.
All right, we got the rest of the leaders coming in too.
Apparently, Talladega and Daytona are pretty dangerous going in the pit road. You just got to watch out what's in front of you and behind you. As long as you get plenty of room, you just got to drive safe going in and out of the pit road.
We've got Wally Tierheimer. No, Wally Tierheimer staying out.
Tierheimer stayed out. Looked like Max
But
Velocity stayed out.
All right, Tony Wright, Sean Dower going into pit row, Jay Anderson in pit row. We are focused on Tony Wright into pit row on lap 52 of 100. Travis,
Yes,
talk
Scott.
us through pit row.
Pit road speed is 60 mile an hour. As long as you don't go over the limit, you won't be black flagged. So you got to be very, very safely going in and out of pit road here at Talladega, and you got to stay to the far right on pit road so all the drivers can see their pit stalls.
Chris Voiles, Wally Tierheimer, Max V. Oh, we've got a spinner out in front of pit row. That may cause that caution.
He got off
green at
the
the
track.
moment.
He got off
Alrighty.
the track. He must have used the toe. Got off the track. We're gonna stay green.
Gary Whitmer on his way out of pit row.
Got all the max velocity drivers on pit road now.
Wally Terheimer up there in that P1 spot. Nathan Sylvia tight on his tails. Richard Brose, drivers taken left sides. Number 28, first out. Nathan Sylvia. Richard Brose beating Wally Terheimer out of pit row.
Green flag pit stop, Scott.
Green flag pit stops. Well, as Becky would say, I am happier than a peacock. Alrighty, I've got one more trivia question here for you folks. Who leads all drivers, and Travis, if you know this answer, you're excluded, buddy. You don't say nothing. he's like I'm like, I got this. All right. Who leads all drivers with 8 pole positions at Talladega? This,
Now, if they were
That's an
listening
interesting
earlier,
question.
I gave this away.
oh, did you?
I did.
All right.
Oh, as we have 3 wide.
3 wide
Yeah,
for
on
the
the front
lead.
stretch right now. Donald Stewart splits on the low side.
Tony
Nathan
Wright
Sylvia
has
gets
help,
stuck in
and
the
Jay
center.
Anderson. Jay Anderson goes by him as well. There goes Rob Haynes. He's looking inside. Nope, he's gonna follow Nate. Nope, 3 wide. Looks like. Nope.
But I tell you, this has really separated the men from the boys, and this pack is starting to disintegrate.
It is.
Wow.
At the same time, that really hurt the Max V guys there. I don't know why they did what they did there. They were 3 wide in that corner, single, like literally with no one around them. I think that's going to hurt them a little bit. I mean, they're fine right now. It is pack racing, so they will make it back up, but it jumbled them up, and maybe they did that to get a certain person where they wanted them, but that was an interesting thing to see there.
Alrighty, lap 55 of 145 to go. All right, we are going to take a very quick commercial break, and we're going to go with that 4x4 action. We're going to keep you in tune with the race, but we're going to flash a couple of commercials, and boys, we'll be back with you in about 60 seconds. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Big shout out there to Pad. People Against Distracted Driving. Travis, you're a young driver.
Yes, sir.
While these drivers are doing such a great job, tell us a little bit about Pad. We always got to get a plug in.
We got another wreck.
No, Donald Stewart.
No caution yet. Still green. Richie B is involved.
There's gonna be a
Caution,
caution.
there it is.
There it is.
Back even further now.
There it is.
Oh no.
Look like the 87 turned the 18 on the left rear corner panel is what I see. What do you see?
I got my cameras on them right now. I'm getting ready to check that out. Looks like the 18 went down to make a block on the 14. Coming through the corner. 87. Oh, ooh. You know, I'm gonna back that up again. I think it might have been air.
Yeah, the 18 just kind of like seemed to go right.
Well, that's very unfortunate right there.
It's either net code. Well, he was correcting it. That's why he went to the right.
Oh
but,
yeah, it was netcode.
That was either net code or the 87 somehow took the air off the back of the 18 because the view that I just watched it in, there was actually clearance between the bumpers.
But you know, the bad one is when the 87 ricocheted back down clear into the number 78, and ooh, Donald Stewart taking a bad spin.
Very unfortunate there for those drivers involved.
All right, well, I tell you what, that'll put Nathan Sylvia, Chris Voiles, but we've got cautionary pit stops to go through. All right, while we're waiting for these drivers to get in, let's check in with our trivia question, Ron.
Okie dokie. I forgot, what did you ask? What was your question?
Bill Elliott. I just gave it away. Shoot.
Oh, you gave it away.
All right. Who leads all drivers?
The answer to the question on who had the most poles at Talladega Superspeedway was
Bill Elliott.
Bill Elliott.
All right, well, we didn't have anybody to get that, so we're getting tougher out there. All right, Nathan Sylvia, Chris Voiles underneath our third caution, but Travis, 3 cautions for 59 laps. That's not bad.
3 cautions is not bad at all. Looks like the 62 of Sean Dower got the free pass, so he's got the lucky dog.
Garrett Potts sitting in 5 laps down, but still in it to win it. Driving a Toyota. Now, you're a Toyota fan, Travis.
Yes, sir.
Any difference between the Toyotas and the Silverados?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yes. I've been driving the Toyota Tundras on iRacing for ever since they came out a couple years ago. I never drove the Chevys yet, but I've watched the experience of how because people got different driving styles. You know, it's like, I mean, I think they drive the same, but I'm not sure about the horsepower. But I believe everything is the same with the aero package with every car we drive.
All righty, we're going to talk to Garrett Potts. How about it, Garrett? Have you got a copy?
Yes, sir. What's going on, Mr. Scott?
All right, Travis was teaching us all about the Toyotas versus the Silverados. What's your opinion?
I think I like the Toyotas, and I do think they have an edge to them. I'm not real sure. But if I had the choice, obviously I choose the Toyota over the Silverado. Never had any good luck or good runs in the Silverado.
Well, that'll make Travis happy.
Yeah, I guess it will. What are you doing, Travis?
Hey, Garrett, how you doing? You having fun out there so far?
Oh yeah, I'm having fun. Well, we're 5 laps down, but we're still out here running laps and having fun.
Alrighty, copy that.
Alrighty.
I'm taking a look around your truck. You got a clean truck. So talk to us real quick. How did you end up 5 laps down?
Well, Nathan Silva did not go on the initial grid up start. So when we were pacing, he didn't go, and we all accordioned right into the rear. So it really wasn't anything great after that. But then we go through the race, and I tried to stay off not using that reset, and I just couldn't. And it just got into a bad strategy, and I was constantly being slow, and just got lapped. And haven't got any free passes, or I think I got 1 lucky dog, and then went a lap down after the restart. So we're just out here running. We're hoping for miracles here, so we'll see what happens.
Alrighty. Looking good. Tell us real quick about Traxxas.
Well, Traxxas is an RC car company. I actually own a few of them. I have a T-Max and an E-Max, but their sponsors are Kyle Busch, which he also drives a Toyota. Even though I'm not a Kyle Busch fan, I do support this paint scheme.
Nice.
Yeah,
Travis just grimaced.
yeah, not a Kyle Busch fan, but I do race his paint skins because I give him that. His sponsors do make his car look really good.
All righty. Good luck to you, Garrett.
Good luck to you too, bud.
All right. Now, I promised this gentleman some airtime, so I got to talk to him at least one time. Plus, he's in third place. How about it, Mr. Tony Wright?
What's up, Scott?
What's up, Tony? Now, you're doing first race business first. You're in third place. How you feeling?
Well, actually trying to be conservative, and I've worked my way up here somehow, so I'm just going to try to stay up here. I don't want to go back in the back now.
All righty. Well, I tell you what, we've already focused onto your truck one time, but, you know, we're going to keep it kid-friendly. We are doing a spin around of your truck. Lisa Sparks, you're looking very good. Might I ask, with the kid-friendly in mind, whom is Lisa?
Well, I'll just say she's a Kentucky native.
Okay, good enough. But I tell you what, I am on the right side, and we're seeing those black base with silvered linings. Man, that looks sharp. Who painted up that Lisa Sparks number 21? Was that you that painted that?
No, I did not paint it, and the guy that painted it's no longer on iRacing, and I can't hit the name right now. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. All right, so we're at lap 61. What is on your mind with 39 to go there, Tony?
I'm just hoping to stay out of trouble and be here at the end. I'm going to stay behind Nathan here as long as I can, and we'll see what happens.
All righty, on your rear end. Focus, focus, focus. Now, real quick, talk to us about go time.
Probably, I don't know, 10 to go.
All righty, good luck to you, Tony Wright.
Thank you, man.
Alrighty, we got pace cars about to come in, and two Max V drivers on the front row, Nathan Sylvia and Chris Voiles, and Tony Wright and Rob Haynes in row 2. As we get ready for the green flag, it's leader's discretion. We'll see what the front row do on the start.
Also want to talk real quick about drivers that going through this field. We got the 14 and Nathan Sylvia. I've walked around his truck with cameras. He's clean. Chris Voiles as well. 21 is clean. 68's clean. 64 and 57 are clean. 66 of Edward Bray is clean. When we drop a little bit further back and get back behind them, the 91 has damage. The 224 has damage. The 40 does not have any damage. The 62 does not have damage. The number 5, Gary Whitmer, does not have damage. The number 84 has slight damage, and the number 7 has slight damage. So just to give you kind of a rundown on where your driver is and what kind of condition he's in.
Copy that, Ronald. Tony Wright continues to push Nathan Sylvia on the bottom lane, and Rob Haynes continues to push Chris Voiles, and Rob Haynes has got help from Wally Tierheimer on the outside lane.
Alrighty, one more trivia question here. All of the NASCAR Sprint Cup races at Talladega have been scheduled for how many laps, how many miles? Now that's a twofer. That is a twofer. The NASCAR Sprint Cup races at Talladega are A, how many laps, and B, how many miles. So if you know one, you know the other, and I tell you what, let's give him a hint here, Travis. What are they, 2.66 miles?
Absolutely, Scott.
All right, so how many laps, how many miles are all of the Talladega races scheduled for? We'll check back with you here in about 5 laps. All right, so as far as Ronald, our race for the ball cap, how are our fans doing after that last caution?
Our fans are still doing okay. Lee Ryerson picked Wally Tierheimer, so he's still in contention. Travis, I believe you said Wally Tierheimer as
yes,
well. Scott, you said Rob Haynes. He's still out there. And then, of course, Becky Whitmer said Gary Whitmer Jr. He's still out there. He has a clean truck. And all he needs is a caution and I hate to ask for that, but if he gets a caution and he looks like he now is first running car 1 lap down, that would put him back on the lead lap and give him an opportunity to win the race. So everyone that chose a driver is still in contention, with the exception of me. My driver, unfortunately, was involved in that last incident and had already used his backup vehicle. So Donald Stewart will not have a chance to win this race.
Gary Whitmer 1 lap down, but he is in that lucky dog position. Travis, tell us how that lucky dog position works for Gary Whitmer.
He's got to stay very, very clean and miss the accident. As long as he doesn't get any, X's from iRacing, he'll get the lucky dog. As long as he's clean with no contact.
So now you brought up an interesting point there. To probably a good majority of our race fans, you said X's. They won't understand what that means. So can you explain that a little bit?
Incident limit is like iRacing is added. Like if you get any damage, it depends on how hard you hit the car or a wall or something like that. Like 2x is when you hit the wall, and 2x is lost control, and 4x for making contact to cars and stuff. So I think they do incident limits in official races as well, at any race room you go to. So that's what iRacing's built for the community.
So if a caution were to come out right now and Gary Whitmer had to dip below the yellow line, go through the grass to avoid an incident, he would get points against him, correct?
Yes, if you go on the grass, that's a 1x, and you still won't get the lucky dog, or unless he gets the wave around if everybody pits. That's his only option.
Okay, so hopefully the race fans understand that a little bit better. Thank you for explaining that, Travis.
Now, speaking of our race fans, Becky, she's 5 for 5, 500 miles, 266 laps. Becky Whitmer. All of the NASCAR Sprint Cup races at Talladega have been scheduled for 500 miles, 266. She was halfway right. 188 laps. She wrote 266. It's 188. But she did have the 500 miles correct.
It looks like the drivers have finally settled down. I know this is a consistent theme. When we lose a bunch of cars, everybody kind of seems to settle down. Maybe some of the troublesome drivers, or I shouldn't say troublesome, the impatient drivers, kind of get weeded out. Unfortunately, they take some of the other drivers, some of the drivers that don't deserve to be taken out. They get taken out as well. But it looks like the guys have finally started to kind of settle down. They're probably working pit strategies with teammates and trying to figure out what they're going to do in the last 30 laps. We have to make at least one more pit stop unless a caution does come out.
We are on the fuel window just about. We're on lap 70 because you can go 30 laps to a tank here. At least 30 to 32 if you're saving fuel behind other drivers. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully we'll see another green flag pit stop and see who's got a shot to win this thing.
Well, Travis, when you're talking about saving fuel, I mean, this is a speedway. So Chris Voiles, he's out there in front, probably not going to be able to save a whole lot of fuel. But tell us how we're going to save a little fuel.
You got to be behind traffic. Like, let's just say you're the third driver, fourth driver, fifth driver. That's what I did last Sunday in the pad race. I was trying to save a little fuel if it went green there. But you got to stay behind traffic and just try to run about 98, 97% throttle. As long as you're behind other drivers, you'll be able to save fuel a little more. Because if you're the leader, you're burning all that fuel off really, really quick.
That was an interesting move right there that we just saw Rob Haynes take the lead, and then the 28 did not stay with the 68, and the 68 fell back while the outside lane pushed past.
They're pitting.
They are pitting.
Drivers going in. Wally Tierheimer. Chris Voiles. Let's see what happens here. Let's see what they do here.
I'm going to stay with Wally Tierheimer and see if he was able to get it under that pit road speed limit. he did come in quite hot.
Wally Tierheimer, the number 28, Chris Voiles, and the number 14 got cameras on Wally. Now, Wally did have that number 1 pit position. I'm not seeing him. No tires. He's pulling out. He's green in. He's green out.
And looks like, get your cameras ready. Looks like the KMA guys are getting ready to make a pit stop. I'm hearing it over the radio.
All 3 Max V drivers, they took no tires on that pit
The
stop.
40, 68, 66, the 5, the 64, and Edward Bray.
Focused on Edward Bray in that shotgun position down pit row, staying to the right. But they are double file down pit row. That's dangerous. But Edward Bray slides into his pit stop.
See what Edward does here.
Taking left sides.
Gary Whitmer took 2 tires as well.
Edward out of pit row.
And there they go. And they're going to have to merge on the backstretch as well. It's a rule for safety reasons.
Got to stay below that yellow line.
But they do have a nice train. They're a little bit separated, but they have a nice train, and they have 5 cars. So be interesting to see. They will eventually catch the number 7 and the number 84 if they do not pit. They will swallow them up and use them as part of their pack.
So Ronald, when we're all spread out like this coming out of pit row, what is the best and most effective way to get bunched back up without losing time?
Well, it's happening right now. The guys that pitted the lap before that took fuel only are now catching the leaders. They lost a little bit of time. They're swallowing up Garrett Potts. They're passing Edward Bray right now.
And Lee Staples.
Lee Staples. This is gonna drag all of these guys back together.
And they are just about caught up. It's Edward and Lee are racing on forward. That'll put Lynn McNeese out there on that front line, though.
You've got Rob Haynes, Gary Whitmer, and Tony Wright in a 3-car train, and then you've got the 5-car, soon-to-be 5-car train led by the maximum velocity drivers of Wally Tierheimer, Nathan Sylvia, and Chris Voiles.
They're getting a pretty good run on them, too. See what happens here. They're going to stay in line, or are they going to go make it too wide?
Well, Wally and Nathan, but that's a dangerous position for Nathan. Just about hooking that corner of Wally Tierheimer.
They almost got into the wall there. That was close.
A few more quick Talladega facts. We've got banking in those corners of 33 degrees on the front stretch at 16.5. Front stretch is 4,300 feet in distance with a backstretch of 4,000 feet. Now, Travis, 4,300 feet, that's a long time.
Oh, absolutely, Scott. It's very, very long. And the start-finish line is all the way in turn 1. Daytona is at the tri-oval. And Talladega wants to make it a little bit longer where the finish line is all the way in turn 1. And see who reaches the start-finish line. Absolutely, Ronald.
Very, very unique. And Gary Whitmer and Nathan Sylvia trying desperately to get Wally Tierheimer out in front and to get down in front of that number 68. But the number 68 and the number 5 refusing to yield. It could happen right now, though. They are
and Wally takes it.
They have cleared them.
And now Nathan Sylvia and Chris Voiles are working together, and everybody else is on the bottom lane.
Now, do you see this as an issue being 2 cars up on top?
It's pretty tough to do 2 trucks on the outside. You know, they gotta keep pushing to keep that engine cool. But there's Tony Wright. He's on the outside. He's gonna follow Chris Voiles on the outside.
I think Edward Bray and Lee Staples had an idea that they were gonna make a run to the outside there, but it's not developing.
Here comes Lee and Edward. They're getting a little run on. I think they're trying to get the middle line to work. And there goes Tony back to the outside.
All righty, while we're watching this great racing action, I've got 2 more trivia questions coming up, folks. We'll take them one at a time. Who holds the track qualifying record? I'll even tell you how fast it is. 212.
And if you were listening to the broadcast earlier, you don't even need to look it up because it gave that one away too.
212.809 with a lap time of a 44.998 seconds, and it was done in 1987. April 30th, 87. Who holds the track qualifying record of 212 miles per hour? We'll give you a few laps. Travis, I bet you already know. You don't say nothing.
Give him a little hint. This was prior to restrictor plates.
Well, I was going to say, because we're not running 212 miles per hour out here tonight, Ron.
No, but we are running 198, 199 currently down the front stretch. So those restrictor plates keep them just under it, and Becky Whitmer has
ding, ding,
answered
ding,
the
ding, 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 ding. She found my website.
I think she... Well, let's ask her. Did you get that from the website, or were you paying attention listening to the broadcast?
I tell you what, she is on point. And I tell you who else is on point. It's Nathan Sylvia and Wally Tierheimer, Travis.
Yes, Wally Tierheimer continues to lead on the bottom lane with his teammate Nathan Sylvia on the outside. They're side by side for the lead, and they're 2 wide, 2 by 2, 4 deep.
Becky Whitmer on her A game tonight. All right, so we're going to get to the second part. Now, who holds the track race record? We're talking in race, established May 10th, 1997, of 188.354. And this is one of my favorite drivers. Go, baby.
I know this one.
I
didn't look this up. I know this one.
I gave you a little bit of a hint right there. Gary's driver back then, says Becky Whitmer.
She was talking about the
Bill
previous
Elliott.
question.
Bill Elliott.
Bill Elliott.
But who holds the track race record of 188? Hey, we really appreciate our fans out there on the KMA TV. You know, and I'm really enjoying this track trivia. I'm learning a lot. You're learning a lot. I'm going to go buy me a bell. We've got a radio DJ in my area, and he gives weird, odd facts. And ding, ding, I'm going to go buy me a bell. Now, we're going to be coming up on some 3-wide action here, Travis. Talk to us about the 3-wide action and how we handle it with the lap traffic.
The lap traffic must yield high to the leaders due to safety reasons. You know, because you got like a lot of drivers working together, and then you got one driver that's a sitting duck. You know, because I think the speed you go by yourself, I believe, is 181 miles an hour. I believe something like that. So, a great job of that driver staying high for the leaders.
Nathan Sylvia, Travis, well, you're part of Nathan Sylvia and Wally. Mm-hmm. So we know you're rooting on Nathan Sylvia, Wally Tierheimer. I'm rooting on Rob Haynes. Rob Haynes was my pick. He's still out there in 3rd place. Now, unfortunately, Donald didn't make it out alive tonight. We've still got Tony Wright, Edward Bray, Lee Staples. Sean Dower was 1 lap down, but he's kind of flying solo at the moment.
We got 3 trucks on the inside lane, then we got 5 trucks on the outside lane.
I don't think that the oh, here we go, 3 wide.
Oh, there they go. There goes Tony Wright to the outside. Chris Boyle stays in the middle line.
He's going to drop down.
Rob Haynes goes to the outside.
Goes to the outside.
He goes to the middle, I think. Are they going to go with him? I don't know. Nope, they're gonna follow Tony Wright on the outside.
Now Gary Whitmer still is 1 lap down, but he's being pushed hard by Edward Bray. Now, what Gary needs to do, though, Gary needs to get in front of Nathan Sylvia because, Travis, once Gary gets past Nathan Sylvia, well, he's no longer technically one lap down.
Absolutely, Scott. Gary Whitmer's trying to get in front of Nathan Sylvia to get on the lead lap. You know what I'm saying? Because like different drivers can try to do it the hard way or the easy way. But hey, that is understandable, and we only have, what, 18 laps to go. So Gary's trying to get everything he can to get back on the lead lap in case there's a late race caution. So anything can happen.
A lot of great paint jobs. Go ahead, Ron.
This is the point where tensions are starting to build. White knuckles are starting. The drivers are driving hard. You can see it. Wally Tierheimer's been glued to Nathan Sylvia's bumper for the last couple of laps. He's going to have to let it breathe. Eventually, you're going to see that outside lane move a little bit.
There's Nathan Sylvia to the outside.
Nathan Sylvia jumps up to allow.
And Tony Wright's going to go on the outside.
What a move!
He's got some help.
What a move!
He's got help from Gary Whitmer and Edward Bray.
Now they're back to 2 wide now.
Didn't really hurt Nathan Sylvia.
There goes Sylvia back to the outside again.
Well, we're at 16 to go, Ronald. This is go time.
Not yet. Not yet.
If I'm out there, it's go time, brother.
No, these guys in the back, Tony Wright, Gary Whitmer, Edward Bray, Lee Staples, they've got a plan, I promise you, and it's not go time yet. They're not going to the front right now. They're being patient. They're waiting for their move.
All right, we're checking in with our race trivia question. Didn't have any tape. Oh, Wally going for a ride. Wally. No caution. All right, we're going to back it up and see what happened with Wally. Appears at number 28. May have done that slight bumper hook. We're on replay. And Wally comes around.
We got another. Oh,
caution
now we definitely have a caution.
Is out. Oh, Lee Staples.
Oh.
Like
okay, I'm going to watch 40, this in slow motion.
Look like the 40 come right down and net code the 21 is what I see.
Oh, no, and Gary Whitmer got contact. Thought he might get his lap back, but he got contact.
All right, well, I got that on the replay. We've got the 21. We got the 40 up. The 40's up in that third lane. And, all right, right there. Watch the progression of the number 40. 40 comes down and gets into the 21, to the 64. You know, that is very uncharacteristic of John Garrett Potts.
Wow, this changes everything now in this race. And that helped out Wally right there because when he got sideways out of 4 and he saved it, and then the caution is out, this is going to help him be back up in that pack again for another green flag run.
So Travis, right now, if you're good on fuel, it's Talladega. Tires ain't a big deal. You stay out, you go in. It's I don't know, 14. It's go time to me.
Oh, absolutely. I say just try to, track position is key here at Talladega. Anybody could win this race. It's still anybody's race at this point until we get to lap 100.
All right, well, I tell you what, we were getting ready to answer that race trivia question. Mark Martin. Now, Ronald, you said you knew that. Mark Martin, the GoDaddy guy. So he holds the track race record with 188 miles per hour set on May 10th of 1997. Right now, Chris Voiles, Nathan Sylvia, Edward Bray, positions 1, 2, and 3, passing pit row.
Rob Haynes is coming in.
That's my guy, Rob Haynes.
Rob Haynes might have, I'm not positive, I could back it up to, he might have had some contact and figured, the position that he was in, I believe he was towards the rear of the lead lap anyways. Currently, unfortunately, we only have 6 drivers on the lead lap. So Rob Haynes pitting, coming out 6th, really not going to hurt him.
All right, I tell you what, I want to get an interview in with one of my favorite drivers, Lynn McNeese in the number 84. I call him Snoopy. He calls himself Little Smokey. How about it, Lynn?
Doing good tonight, Scott. How you doing?
Doing good. I always love to hear you. Can we get that Snoopy voice I love? There you go. All right, how about your race tonight? Now, you're 1 lap down, first driver 1 lap down. You going to get that lucky dog, or you going to get that wave by?
Yeah, I was one position away from getting the lucky dog there, but just had some bad luck on that last one of them cautions and didn't repair it quick enough.
All right, well, we've only had 4 cautions on lap 87, 13 to go. What is your opinion of tonight's race?
Oh, it's been a good race. We've had some real good racing, a lot of competition going on. Just a couple of your normal Talladega wrecks where just somebody makes a bad move and it's not really nobody's fault.
All right, talk to us a little bit about your sponsor, Old Smoky.
Old Smoky Moonshine. Just something to, I guess, down there just to have a little Saturday night enjoyment when you're racing, have a little side drink there afterwards. How's that?
All right, sounds good. All right, so where do you think you're going to finish up tonight? Because you are 1 lap down. You think you're still in it to win it?
They'd have to have another caution real quick here on the restart for me to get back on the lead lap, and I don't see that happening with the more cars we have in here. So maybe I can just help another KMA driver and see if we can push them up here to the front.
All righty, sounds good. Len McNeese, Old Smoky, good luck to you.
Thanks, Scott.
All right, Travis, now I'm going to let you handle this next interview. We're going to drag Wally down here, and we're going to let you interview Wally.
All right.
Hi, Wally.
How about it, Wally Tierheimer? This is Travis Browder on the KMA TV booth. How you doing?
Hello there, T-Bro. How are we, man?
Hey, that was a good save you had there earlier. What happened there?
Well, it's just one of those things where if you're shimmying a little to the right and they're shimmying a little to the left, and you hit them at the same time, you're going to go in the different direction. It's like it happened a little earlier tonight when I was pushing, and it happened tonight just then when I was leading. So I saved that, though. I was like dirt tracking it around 190 miles an hour dirt tracking. It was pretty fun. I saved that thing, and I caught on with somebody, and I thought, okay, I'll catch up. And then there was a quick caution, so I'm thankful for that. And now I'm back up here in fifth place, and I'm looking to hook up with my Bandit Motorsports brothers up there in the first 2 spots, and see how it plays out these last 10 laps.
All righty, copy that. Hey, hopefully you put on a good show there at the end. Good luck to you, Wally, and good luck with your Max V drivers down there.
No, thank you very much, and I wanted to say thanks. Say hey to my mom, Martha, and my nephew Joshua is watching. They're in the other room watching on the big screen, and they're not in there typing probably, and my mom's not in there in chat, but they're in there watching and rooting me on. So hello to you guys out there in the other room. I love you, and thanks, and let's get it home for you guys.
Very awesome. Copy that, Wally. Good luck to you on the last 10 laps. Good.
All right, Wally, and we did give a shout out there to Joshua a few laps ago. So, hey, Joshua, get active up on that KMA TV chat. Show your love for the Wally Burger. Wally. Good luck to you, Wally.
All right, Scott. Thanks, Travis.
Yep, no problem, man.
Wally Tierheimer. But I want to get a chat in with my driver if I can find him. Where is my driver gone to? Rob Haynes in 6th position. How about it, Rob Haynes? You got a copy?
Yeah, 10-4, Scott. How's it going?
Doing good. All right, brother. Not to put no pressure on you, but we've got all of our favorite picks. We've got Becky's pick still in it. Ronald's pick is out. Travis's Browder pick is in. And I picked you for the win. Can you throw a brother a bone?
Yeah, you know what, 10-4, Scott. I'm going to give it a shot here, and we got some KMA guys running up here with me, and if I can't do it, I'm going to help push one of these guys to the lead. So, go KMA.
All right, good luck to you there with the Google KMA number 68. Good luck to you.
Thanks, Scott.
Alrighty, we are 1 to green, and we're in turn 3 now, so we're fixing to go green with 10 laps to go.
All right, Travis, I don't believe you have done a restart tonight, so I'm going to hand this restart over to you, and we're going to go in-car camera with my favorite driver, Rob Haynes riding shotgun on this restart with Rob Haynes.
Chris Voiles and Wally Tierheimer are on the front, or not Wally Tierheimer, Nathan Sylvia are on the front row, and Edward Bray is in the second row, and Sean Dower on the outside of row 2. Pace car is in. Leader's discretion, so let's see what Chris Voiles does here on the restart. And they are rolling. Pace speed is 80 miles an hour. Green flag is out. We're back to racing at Talladega Super Speedway, and Edward Bray pushing Chris Voiles on the inside lane.
Big shout out there to Lisa Batchelor saying, Wally better not wreck my number 62. 62 of Sean Dower.
Here comes the move of the race. Here comes the move of the race, fellas.
Edward Bray got a great start right there with Chris Voiles. There goes Edward Bray to the outside. He's looking.
That's the move that he wants. That's the move that
There
he
he
wants.
goes. There he goes. What's Nathan Sylvia gonna do? Is he gonna push it, or are they gonna go 3 wide?
But do you want the outside lane or inside lane?
Nathan Sylvia goes 3 wide.
3 wide action. Oh, Edward's stuck on that outside though. He's like dropping like a fly.
And Sean Dower continues to push Nathan Sylvia. He's following his momentum. That was intense.
Well, I told you it was going to be the move of the race.
It looked just like Thursday night's race there, Ronald, the other night. Look.
All right. So fellas, do you want inside, outside, third lane? You want outside?
Outside. But here's the deal. Here's what's going to happen, Scott. Edward Bray is going to go high.
There he goes. He's got Rob Haynes with him.
He's going to go high, and he's going to take Rob Haynes with him.
I
thought Sean would go with him, but I guess not.
3 wide. Here we go.
This is how it's going to end right here. 3 wide.
They are 3 wide, 2 deep. Chris Voiles, Wally Tierheimer working together on the bottom. Nathan
Ooh,
Sylvia,
keep it down,
Sean Dower
fellas.
in the
Keep
middle.
it down. Keep it down.
Make it clean, boys. This is getting wild up here, Scott. Coming 8 to go this time.
I tell you what, Edward Bray has the field right where he wants him. He's got a great pusher behind him, and that's nothing against Wally Tierheimer, Chris Voiles, Nathan Sylvia, or Sean Dower, but he has the field right where he wants him, but that middle lane needs to hold their line. I think that there's a little bit of reservation right now.
Nathan Sylvia puts the block on Edward Bray.
Dumps the center, dumps Sean Dower. Now this could be a backfire. This could work out really bad for Nathan Sylvia.
Edward Bray still with Rob Haynes on the outside. And,
no!
Wrecking behind him, caution is out. Oh man. Let's see what happened there, Scott.
We are backing it out. We're looking at Sean Dower in the middle. Edward Bray with a little bit of a... Well, we're waiting for it. We're waiting for it. Oh, and Edward Bray with a little bit of a love tap on the number 14 of Nathan Sylvia turning. Nathan Sylvia right side up into that wall. Edward taking a beating, but I think Sean Dower may have gotten through it. So, Ronald, what happened there? He barely touched him. That's a matter of a, ooh, don't touch me there.
I'll tell you what, it's very unfortunate. It's speedway racing. Nathan Sylvia was putting a block on Edward Bray. That's exactly what happened there. If you go to the rear chase. Nathan knew that the outside was coming, and he just he put himself kind of in a bad position. He walked up and didn't really give Edward anywhere to go. Edward guess must not gotten out of the throttle quick enough, and fortunately brought out a caution.
That'll put Edward Bray in pit road. No, it's not over to the fat lady scenes.
No, we're gonna have a couple laps here.
We'll get one more restart. We will get one more restart.
Now that'll put Joel Guy possibly restarting up there in third position. Right now we're looking at Chris Voiles, Wally Tierheimer, Joel Guy possibly restarting in third position. Interesting position for Joel Guy.
Joel Guy up to third. This is interesting.
How about it, Mr. Guy? You got a copy?
I got a copy on you, Scott.
Alrighty, you are in a very interesting position right now. You're right now listing in third place. Are you going to duck in the pit row, or are you going to keep that third place pole?
I'm keeping third place. I got plenty of fuel and plenty of tires, and we're going to see what happens. It's time to take the steering wheel back or the trophy, one of the two.
All right, Travis, talk to Joel about that trophy.
Joel, what are your plans here to try to get to the front and try to win this thing to bring the trophy home?
Well, I'm going to try to push up on somebody and slingshot them at the last minute.
Alrighty, copy that.
Because I doubt I'll have any help behind me.
Now that's not true. Depending on where you are, where you end up, Rob Haynes just got his backup truck out, and he will be starting behind you, so you do have some form of help back there.
Okay, well, I was expecting to probably have the front two that wrecked a while ago behind me and not have any KMA guys behind me, but if Rob's back there, maybe he'll push me, maybe he won't. It's time to go, so it's actually every man for himself.
Copy that.
All righty, good interview there, Joel Guy. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Scott. Y'all have a good time up in the booth.
All right, Travis, one more quick race interview here. I'm going to let you handle this one here because he is your good friend, Nathan Sylvia. I'm going to move him up, and you take him over.
Hey, Nathan Sylvia, this is Travis Sprouter in the KMA TV booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
What's your plan here with us? We got one more restart. What's your plan?
Well, plan is to get Abandoned Motorsports to win and try to not get in any more wrecks.
Alrighty, copy that. So if you can get to the front here, hopefully you can get to your teammates, or you can try to find somebody to work with to get to the front, right?
Yeah, we're just, I mean, if Abandoned Motorsports gets the win and I get a top 5, that's a win to us, so.
That is very true. Copy that. And we're all winners tonight, so good luck to you, Nathan Sylvia. Good.
Thank you.
So Nathan, at this point in time, though, we're going to be going back with a 4 to go, possibly 3 to go. Are the hats off? Are the gloves off with 3 to go?
I mean, it's, whoever I push to the front, I mean, I'm going to go. I'm not going to hold anything back.
All right, sounds like you got a little bit of a cold there, brother. I hope you get to feeling better. Now, explain to us one more thing here. We see you up in the front of a lot of tracks. Now, this is a speedway, but we see you up in the front with a lot of mile-and-a-halfer. Tell the fans what the difference is between this big old 2.66 compared down to a 1.46 like Kentucky.
I mean, here's this, you know, it's depending on your teammates and who you're working with to push you to the front at you know, Kentucky and all the other mile-and-a-half tracks. It's all about throttle control and who can save the best tires, and when it is the go time, and to see who does not burn up the tires with like 20 to go.
So in other words, right now it's going to be a free-for-all.
Yes, sir.
All right, anybody you want to give a big shout out there to, Nathan?
Abandoned Motorsports and Maximum Velocity.
All right, good luck to you, Nathan.
Thank you.
All right, Ronald, we got time for one more quick trivia question.
I think so.
Well, tell us all about it. I hope the fans have enjoyed our trivia questions. That is something we're going to try to start incorporating a little more. I'm going to go buy me a bell so I can go ding, ding, ding every time we ask out a trivia question. Ronald, tease us.
Who has the most consecutive Cup victories at Talladega?
Kyle Busch.
No, that is not correct.
Oh, Travis. Sorry, Travis. I was messing with you.
I know, buddy. We are 1 to green, and they're in turn 3.
Yeah, it's about the gloves are off, fellas. We are coming to the green flag, or coming around, turn forward, getting ready to go back to green flag. It's going to be very interesting. There's still some fast cars out there. You got two teammates side by side controlling the front.
6 drivers on the lead lap, though.
Yeah, Nathan Sylvia is actually in a bad spot. He's on the lead lap, but he's all the way in the back.
Chris Pace car is in. Chris Voiles and Wally Tierheimer. There goes Chris Voiles. Wally Tierheimer. There they go on the restart. Let's see what happens with 3 laps to go.
Now, if the 62 pulls down in front of the 91, or the 91 pulls up, either one, this could be a hugely different race.
Wally Tierheimer goes to help Chris Voiles, but let's see what happens. Here comes Joel Guy. He's got a little run here. Oh, there's a little contact.
Wasn't clear. Don't do that.
Keep it green.
Lisa Bachelor.
Right, here they go.
Here they go.
The number 62 is being pushed on by Rob Haynes. That outside lane is going to move.
Oh, but he gets abandoned.
He's going to the inside of Sean Dower. What's Wally going to do? Is he going to push his teammate to the win? We'll see.
Lisa Bachelor out there on the KMA TV chat, opting for Junior and opting for Sean Dower. Big shout out to Lisa Bachelor, rooting on the number 62 of Sean Dower. Sean Dower relying on the
Dale Earnhardt Jr. That is the correct answer.
Lisa Bachelor, score 1.
2 to go.
2 laps to go. Does anybody have anything for these front 2?
Wally
has no help behind him, but the other drivers are trying to have a plan to get to the front.
Well, I tell you what, boys, my driver is still in 3rd place. Woohoo, yaha. I'm still pulling for Rob Haynes.
Laying back, waiting for a run.
Well, he's got Joe Guide. Oh God, look at Nathan Sylvia.
Nathan Sylvia trying.
And Rob Haynes.
There goes Rob to the outside.
He's sliding up.
Joel has no choice but to stay down.
My money's on Rob Haynes.
White flag this time by. Here they come to the title.
This could actually be.
This is going to be good.
Rob Haynes, get her done, brother. Get her done.
Here we go. Final lap as they cross the start-finish line.
So do I get the ball cap?
I think so. We'll see. We'll see.
I might get me a ball cap.
Can the number 62 push Rob Haynes to the front? That's
go 62, baby. I want me a ball cap.
They're side drafting each other. They're side drafting each other.
No help on that inside lane.
Get it up there, Sean Dower. I want me a ball cap. Wally pushing side by side.
Pushes up.
Is Chris Voiles going to go up?
Oh, come on.
They're losing momentum.
Oh, there goes my ball cap. There goes my ball cap.
It's going to be close.
It's a
Chris
drag
Voiles
race.
might get this here. It's going to be close.
It's going to be
Chris Voiles. Chris Voiles.
Chris Voiles, Wally Tierheimer, Rob Haynes.
Wow, what a finish.
Wow.
Congratulations to Chris Voiles. Wally Tierheimer 2nd, Rob Haynes 3rd. Your podium, Scott.
All right, well, let's get these drivers down here right off the bat. Rob Haynes, have you got a copy?
Yeah, 10-4, Scott. How's it going?
Well, you done lost me a ball cap because you were my driver for the night, but that's okay. Hey, you got a 3rd place. Talk to me about that 3rd place.
I did, man. That was a tough race, and sorry I lost you that ball cap, but would have loved to get that for you, Scott. Glad to see Chris grab a win here, and but hey, man, 3rd for KMA. I tried there. Joel got a little bit squirrely there at the end, and I couldn't stay with him. I think if I had, we might have fallen a little bit too far back, so I went for it, and hey, paid off with a 3rd. Wish I could have had a win for KMA.
All right, now that was 2nd place Wally Tierheimer. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, 10-4, Scott.
All right, what was that like racing around Wally Tierheimer tonight?
Yeah, it was. Wally and I raced together well, I think. You know, he bumps and bangs a lot, but I mean, hell, sometimes I do the same in the corner, Scott. So you know, he's a tough competitor, and I respect him. All righty, Wally, what have you got to say to that?
You know what? Rob is one of my favorite guys to drive with. I respect him. We go back to when we were doing the ILCR, the KOA stuff. That's when we met, and we've always drove well around each other. He's a great competitor. I mean, I love driving with Rob. And we were driving well early, and we were working the pack really early, and it was a lot of fun out there. and I'm just really happy that we can get the Bandit Motorsports, which is a Max V League team that we have. Get Chris, he's our captain, and we got him the victory tonight, and I'm just really proud to have helped and to have been a part of it and pushed him up there to lead. And that last lap, man, we had some good strategy. We got him up there, kept him up there, and it was just a great end, great finish.
All right, Travis, Wally is your guy. Anything else you got to ask him?
Wally, I was pulling for you to win tonight, by the way. But
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Good job on second place there. Looked like you were pushing your teammate there, Chris Voiles, to the win. Looks like.
Well, you know that we've been racing with Chris for 3 years, over 3 years.
Yep.
And I said, we're on the last caution. I said, we're going to push you to the win here, Chris. We're going to do this. This is yours. You deserve this, and we're going to do all we can to get you there. And it was it was only a 3-lap shootout, so it's not like we had to do much except for just drive. But that's it, man. We wanted to get Chris the victory tonight, and we did, and he deserves it 100%, man. With the luck, he's if there wasn't bad luck, he wouldn't have any luck. So tonight we got him some good luck. So.
Alrighty, good job there, Wally Tierheimer for P2. Good.
Alrighty, Ronald
Thank you.
Klein. Let's go on and talk to our race leader, Ronald Klein.
Chris Voiles, you got a copy?
Hey, Ronald, how you doing, man?
I'm doing very well, but I think you're doing even.
Sean, you here? Sean, you here?
With me and told me they were going to push me to the win, and that's what Wally did. I'm just ecstatic. I'm beside myself. Thanks for putting on the race, Scott.
Well, you're not beside yourself. You're in a league of your own right now. You won. Go ahead, Ronald.
We got to see some great action in the closing laps. Talk to us about the final lap and a half, because we saw the outside lane finally form up and started to mount a challenge, and there was some question as who was going to win. Talk me through that last lap and a half or so.
Oh yeah, I think it actually goes back a little further. We were 3 wide there before that last caution, and I mean that was absolutely brilliant driving by everybody. But that last lap and a half, me and Wally were chatting about what we needed to do to make sure one of us got the win, and I don't know if you noticed, but we kind of moved up down the backstretch about middle of the track, and that let us arc in the 3 and give us a little more momentum. And then it looked like the outside lane kind of broke up a little bit or laid back too much and just couldn't get a run on us.
That's exactly what we saw from the booth, and thank you for explaining that to the fans. Looking very sharp out there in the truck that you're in tonight, featuring the Crown Extra. Talk to me about your paint job real quick.
This is kind of a throwback. I don't know if many people out here know who Rob Moroso Jr. was, but this was a paint job he run on his Busch Grand National car when he raced before he passed away. And I always liked the colors, red, white, and blue. Of course, anybody in America is going to like them, and I like the paint job, so I painted this truck myself, and thought it'd look good on the track, and now it looks good in Winter Circle.
It absolutely does, and thank you for that. I was actually unaware of the facts that you just explained to us. What an exciting finish! What an exciting race! Congratulations on winning. Is there anybody that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Sean, are you here?
Yeah, you can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I'll win an interview with you, sir.
Hang on, I can barely hear you, man.
All right, well, I can hear you fine.
Okay.
All right, get ready.
On that outside line, I appreciate it.
His guys are out here doing donuts around you and kind of making me laugh a little bit, but
yes, they are.
Once again, congratulations on a fantastic finish. It was great to call. I know I enjoyed it. I'm sure Scott and Travis did as well. Looking forward to next week. We got a new series starting up. Well, not really a new series, but it's a short track series starting up on Wednesday night. Hopefully we'll see you there. If not, hope to see you at Monday or Tuesday in the next race.
All right, thank you, Ronald. I'll probably show up for something next week. I'm sure. I'm usually here as much as I can be. If I don't have another league race going on, I usually show up.
Copy that. Thank you for your time, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Rob.
Congratulations, Chris.
Thank you, Travis. Do you see that? Who won, Travis?
Nice. All right, but guys, I do want to have one more surprise interview in with Sean Dower. How about it, Sean?
What's going on, man?
I tell you what, you fought a hard fight out there, and Lisa Batchelor out there on that KMA TV chat, she says, I always have a ball cap with my number 62. So it's really cool when we have our better halves out there on that KMA TV chat. Talk to us about your night, sir. You did a great job tonight. You were one lap down. That's why I got you up here. So I'm going to let you actually tell us our race summary. Talk to me, Sean.
Well, listen, I guess first of all, I feel like the bridesmaid, man. I felt like I had that race covered, was just, making my moves like I always do, and was doing real good. Had some, it wasn't, definitely wasn't Wally's fault at all. He's a great driver. He just, he hooked me a little bit too low, sent me flying. And I don't know if you got to see or not, but I hit the wall so hard, it knocked my rear axle right off the truck.
Nice.
So I was lucky enough to get that fixed. Got back on the track and just, kept working my way, working with everybody. And then right there at the end, it's just, I didn't have any teammates, and nobody wanted to help. So I just did the best I could to try to push old boy up there, and I was pushing as hard as I could. But overall, like every race I run with KMA, I mean, you guys are awesome. I did the best I could for the guy in front of me, trying to help him. But, yeah, and Lisa, she's sitting next to me watching the broadcast, so I'm hearing you all like a little bit lap behind while I'm racing. I'm nervous, and I'm hearing y'all talking.
You know what? Right now, immortalize her, and she'll have it forever on YouTube. Talk to Lisa before we wrap it up.
I made Lisa leave the room while I was doing this interview, otherwise you get feedback. You call into a radio show.
Nice.
I had her leave the room so I could talk to you guys. But, man, I love everything y'all do. She enjoys the broadcast. It's always fun to have somebody sitting there supporting me and, cheering me on. Like I told you the last time you got me up here in the last race. I mean, I think she wants me to race more than I do. So, but I always have a blast with you guys, man. I appreciate everything y'all do to put on the broadcast, and it's a blast. And I thank you for the service because, like I said, it allows her to watch and other drivers, family, and friends to watch as well, man.
Nice. All right, thank you, Sean. All right, so Ronald and Travis, wrap us up, send us out while I flash those race results.
Alrighty, we had 5 cautions for 21 laps and 36 lead changes. That's a lot of lead changes at Talladega. Great race. We saw green flag pit stops. We saw a lot of strategies playing out, and happy to see that race ended under green for sure.
Yeah, I enjoyed the finish. I mean, that's what we're all here for, is to see the end of the race, and it was beyond exciting. It was almost exhausting trying to figure out who was going to do what, and just when you thought, Wally Tierheimer and Maximum Velocity and Chris Voiles had it covered, Rob Haynes goes in and makes this dramatic move and gets a push from Sean Dower and changes the outlook of the finish, and then it was a drag race for the finish. I mean, we don't always get these finishes, but when we do, I'm literally I was standing up out of my chair, just like I would if I'm watching a race in real life. I'm standing up and I'm like, who's gonna win, and you're calling it at the same time, and it's just exhausting, to be honest. So great race. Can't thank the drivers enough for coming out here and driving as cleanly as they do, and putting on the show that they do. Can't thank the fans out there enough. Without them, not that there's no point to KMA, but KMA TV will continue to grow because of the fans. So thank you to them for their support. Thank you for supporting your drivers. It's just the same as if it was a local dirt track or any other type of local track. Supporting your drivers, it goes a long way. So thank you for that. And a huge shout out to KMAT.
All right, and I tell you what, I'm going to go buy me a bell. And I hope our fans enjoyed that trivia competition tonight out there on the KMA TV chat. Becky Whitmer either had my cheat sheet or she knows her stuff. Big shout out there to GW Graphics, Over the Top Paints and Designs, Gearhead Paint Shop, PAD, People Against Distracted Driving. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am Scott Kolovic. He is Travis Browder. He is Ronald Klein. And we are out of here. And we'll catch you back on Monday at New Hampshire. See you guys at the after party.
Good night, fans.